Ah, oh, we love. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Let's see how we get on. Is anyone joining? That's going to be really awkward if not. If no one's joined, literally all this hype for nothing. Oh, we got some people coming in. Say what's up. Let me know. Most important thing is let me know how the visual quality is, right? If you know, I live near the countryside, right? Our download speed is slower than a snail, right? So, most important thing, you need to let me know how the visual and audio quality is, right? So if it's bad, I will try every single device to make sure you guys can see me. A bit poor quality. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. How bad is it? 1 to 10. Audio's fine, that's good. So 1 to 10. Say 1 is like really bad, 10's like awesome. If it about that's not too bad. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I need more feedback. I need more feedback. We've got more people. What's popping? What's popping? What's popping? Damn, it's been so long since I've spoken to you beautiful people in a more interactive space. Because obviously YouTube, everything's pre-recorded. 8! Booyah! Boom shakalaka. That's what I'm talking about. 8! Woo! It's this, baby. It's this bad boy right here. I got a 4G router that is separate from my broadband because the download speed is freaking awful. That's awesome. Right, let's get into it, people. Let's get into it, right? So, Q&A. Q&A, anything, right? Anything. Questions and answers, just anything. Anything. Health and fitness, calisthenics, weight training, gym, anything about me. Obviously, with my acid reflux lately, people on Instagram will know I got my food intolerance results back last week. And there was one food I was having every day without realizing it that I'm intolerant to, right? Crazy. Even got my food allergy results back today. And there's some foods I'm still eating daily that I've got some reactiveness to, which is mental, right? Crazy. More people coming in. Say what's up. Say what is up. So like I said, any questions for you to support you with your health and fitness? Any questions about me? Obviously, I'm going through quite a bit right now behind the scenes of acid reflux and all of that. And anything else, trying to think. Anything in regards to coaching, train with Jake, anything, right? So let's start. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. I can eat meat and potatoes right now. There's a lot of things I can't eat, right, with my acid reflux, but I can have meat and potatoes. Some meats, there's some meats I can't have, but anywho, plant or whey protein. Never had plant. Obviously, plant protein is applicable to vegans. Also, maybe I've had some clients where they've had like an intolerance to some ingredients in whey protein, so we'd have plant protein instead. Video's getting better now. Sweet. Where are you from? I'm from England. More specifically, I should try to think where I was born. I was born in Slough, right? So, I'm really bad at geography. Where's Slough near? I think it's quite near Windsor, where the Queen lives. You know what I'm saying? So, I lived before. Let's take a look at all of these. I lived before and I gained weight. What route do I need to take? I want to get buff again. That's an interesting question. It's actually something I covered in my Facebook coaching group today for one-on-one clients and Train with Jake members, because there's like differences we've got to distinguish between calisthenics and weights. Like one is not necessarily better than the other. It's more so using the best tool to create the type of result that you want to create. Do you know what I mean? So I'd say, like I said, body training calisthenics is particularly great for beginners, and It's great for improving mobility, flexibility. It builds a lot of practical and functional strength and muscle. You can still build muscle even at an intermediate level. I'd say when you're more advanced with calisthenics, it's very hard to build muscle, even weighted calisthenics, because again, there's the lack of like isolation exercise and accessory work. So like I said, calisthenics is great for getting lean, getting functional, getting lean and mean. If you want to pack on size though, pack on muscle mass, all right? Most efficient way of doing it is lifting weights. Obviously, just being transparent, right? Obviously, going from JG Calisthenics to JG Fitness, obviously having an open mindset to everything now. If you want to build muscle in the most efficient way, all right, lifting weights is going to do it more efficiently, simply because, you know, the movement patterns of weighted exercises are very simple. It's like, you know, it's like right now, overhead press, shoulder press, point A, point B, point A, point B. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas obviously a pike push-up, you've got to think about the hip positioning, you've got to think of your glutes, you've got to think of your core activation, you've got to think of keeping the elbows in, all of that, right? So as I said, weight movements, easy to learn, easy to understand, easy to overload, and it's very black and white. You know how much weight you've lifted, whereas sometimes with bodyweight training, it can be hard to actually kind of distinguish like whether you've made progress or not, because your body weight's always functioning, right? Fluctuating, I mean, right? So this is the thing you don't see on YouTube. When I film YouTube videos, obviously I, you know, cut like some of the bloopers out. But anyway, besides the point, what was I saying again? I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, like I said, weighted movements, easy to learn, easy to understand. Obviously, the weight is black and white. It's very fixed. It's easy to track, and it's easy to progress from there. So I personally don't believe that one is necessarily better than the other completely, but both have different benefits that will serve you for different purposes. That's why it's like, for example, I'm thinking right now. So obviously, one-on-one clients and Train Jake members, I've got obviously people doing just bodyweight training, calisthenics, people just doing weights in the gym. I'm having more people interested in regards to what I'm personally doing right now. Obviously, I train at home because obviously from the UK, we're in global lockdown, national lockdown, right? So I train at home, and obviously I've got like a little home gym. So I do weights and calisthenics to help build muscle mass. Like I said, since starting this YouTube channel, when I started calisthenics, my goal was never muscle mass, right? It was more so getting stronger with body weight with calisthenics, because that's what interested me. Whereas now, like with my injuries last year, acid reflux right now, and that, it's like I train for the feeling, man. I train for the desire to feel better, and the looks, right? What you see as the outcome is a byproduct of it, right? I think it's healthier that way. I think it's more enjoyable rather than just chasing aesthetics, right? Although aesthetics are important, because obviously if we look better naked, then it boosts our self-confidence, which is very important, right? Oh my days, how many more questions we got? I've realized like this is kind of a trend when we do these lives. Sometimes it can take so long to answer one question. It's like, damn, it's like now there's like over a dozen. But hope that answers your question, Arnold. I've said where I'm from. How to avoid back knee and Jet Talentino. Rephrase your question. I'm not sure what you mean by that, man. Matthew, I'm not going to answer that question, man. So, what do you recommend for people who can't even do a push-up? How do they start? Got a YouTube video, man. I've got so many YouTube videos on push-ups for beginners. Type in, I'm trying to think. You can type in either Jake Gay push-ups for beginners or JG Calisthenics push-up for beginners. Because obviously, the way you can start is like you can start on the wall, man. You can do incline push-ups on a wall, and then you can do incline push-ups on something like a bench. Basically, the way you progress it, man, is like you start on a wall at like a high incline, and you work your way down to, and the goal is to get to the point where you're on the floor. So it's like a high incline is easier, whereas a lower incline is harder. So obviously you start at a high incline and you progress it. You progress the intensity by learning the incline. Do you know what I mean? Trying to find the next question. Just went blank there. How tall are you and how much do you currently weigh? I am a astonishing 5'9". and I weigh an astonishing 154 pounds right now. Scott, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. If you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram at JK Fitness. I'm noticing some of the OGs here from Instagram. What's up? Should I drink protein shakes daily, even when I don't work out? Protein shakes aren't necessarily needed, man. Like, it's only really needed if you're deficient in protein, right? I personally don't drink protein shakes because whey and dairy gives me acne. So, like I said, it's like I just have different forms of protein instead that doesn't give me acne, right? But in answer to your question, you can get protein from many different sources. Like protein powder is not a magical form of powder. It's like 20 grams of protein from chicken has no different effect compared to 20 grams of protein from protein powder. Do you know what I mean? So if you need to supplement your protein needs, like if you have a certain goal amount for the amount of protein per day and you're deficient in it, and obviously protein powder will help get you to that protein goal and hit your protein needs. But if not, you don't need it, right? So if you have more protein than what your body needs, it's a bit like adding petrol or diesel, whatever type you use for your car. It's like putting more fuel into your car when it's already full. So what's going to happen? It's just going to leak, right? The tank's just going to leak, and the leakage is wastage, right? It doesn't actually be put to any practical use. You might as well use those calories for carbohydrates, fats. Do you know what I'm saying? So, guys, stop asking all your questions. I can't catch up with you all. But I love you guys, so I'm gonna get through these. Do you have another job apart from this fitness? No, man, this is my job. I'm privileged to say this is my job, right? Well, YouTube's not my job. YouTube is obviously, part of why I do social media. Obviously, my main job is obviously particularly online coaching. Just got to remind my phone. I lost my trail of thought. Right. Obviously, like the main thing I focus on, or like the main way I make a living is obviously through online fitness coaching, which obviously you can learn more at www.jkfitness.com. Actually, if anyone's interested for anything, any free guides, any coaching, any Train with Jake programs, slapped the link there in the comment section for you guys. I think it may be description of this video as we speak. But in answer to your question, man, because I'm going off track, like I said, my job is particularly online coaching, coaching clients to help them get in the best shape of their lives and transform their bodies while enjoying a healthy lifestyle through either body weight training at home, weights in the gym, or a hybrid of both. Also, as well, I have my Train with Jake members, which is basically my monthly subscription service, where obviously it's a bit more self-paced and self-managed compared to online coaching. And trying to think, yeah, so that's how I make a living. But obviously, I get some money from YouTube. It's nothing massive, but it's a nice bit of side income, you know what I'm saying? But as I said, my job is obviously just reading other questions. But my main job is obviously coaching, online coaching, as well as obviously providing home and gym-based programs on the side as well with Train with Jake, right? So I was going to say one more thing. Fun fact, OGs will know, though. I'm going to quiz you guys, all right? I'm going to quiz you guys. Before, my business became my full-time job, I had 2 jobs I did before. Comment below which ones they were. If someone guesses them right, I'll give you a virtual high five. You got everything to win. Everything to win, nothing to lose. All right. What's the next question? Thanks, bro. I think I want to go back to the gym. Go back to the gym, man. Lift some weights, get some gains. All the basic compound exercises, calisthenics like push-ups, chin-ups, dips, with progressive over enough to build muscle and make gains for a beginner. Yes, man. Honestly, if you start out as a beginner and you can't do a push-up, you can't do a dip, you can't do a pull-up, and then you get to a point where you can do multiple pull-ups, multiple dips, multiple push-ups, that's progressive overload. And we know progressive overload is how our muscles get bigger and stronger, right? It's adaptation, right? It's doing, more than what your body could do before. So that, as I said, when your muscle tissues are broken down during workout, when you work out, when you recover, that's when they repair themselves, right? And when they actually repair and regrow, they actually grow bigger and stronger compared to before. That's how over time your muscles get bigger and stronger. So yes, mate, you can make some serious gains getting very good at the basics of calisthenics. As I've shown multiple times, not just with clients, but also some of you guys following my free routines, getting absolutely sick results, right? That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I've been following you since April, last April. I think that's around the first lockdown. Yeah, first lockdown, we blew up. First lockdown, we blew up. Everyone, like transformation video in particular, went crazy because obviously everyone was looking for bodyweight home workouts, right? And we are the OGs of home workouts, right? Following since April. The real OGs, though, have been here since 2018. That's what's up. But anyway, appreciate your support. Glad to have you here. Love the Q&A. Appreciate you, Max. Let's scroll down here to see if... Oh, someone got it. Hang on. Someone got my job. Tesco, that's one. I worked at Tesco, but you got to guess what I did at Tesco. And I had one job before I worked at Tesco. I wasn't a truck driver. So many questions. You guys are freaking awesome. No. What inspired you to make videos? Oh, Matthew. What a question, man. What a question. Get out of the way, light. Oh, that light is distracting. Cover it with the chair. What inspired me to make videos? Oh, I'm gonna see what other questions we got, just because this is gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a long one. So, where's the question gone? Matthew. To answer your question, man. What inspired me to make videos, right? It's a combination of things, right? Let's break it down by storytelling, right? So let's think, right? 16 years old. Try to think, in fact, January 2016, right? I was very unhappy with the way I felt and looked. I had a lower back injury from football that obviously impacts my self-esteem. I was always very shy and insecure with girls. And so that's where I decided to make a change, right? In fact, there was even one time where I really liked this girl, but I lacked the confidence to ask her out. And so because of that, right, she actually went for another guy instead. And I just, again, had no confidence in myself to really do the things I wanted to do in life, right? Even that, it's because of my football injury, I started gaining weight in the wrong areas, like my midsection, right? And so I was made fun of for, my skinny frame, but my stubborn fat, the skinny fat look. And so as I actually started to progress in my own health and fitness, I realized that there's a lot of misinformation right nowadays. There's a lot of misinformation on the internet that kind of frustrates me because obviously I fell for it myself, which caused a lot of pain and frustration. And I saw other people struggling with it as well. And because as I started getting results, friends and family actually started asking me for advice, that's when I was just sometimes it gets to the point where it's even though I'm very passionate about fitness, sometimes it's when you get 10 different people ask how do you lose weight? It's why not make a video on it? So you make it once, everyone can use it. Do you know what I mean? So that's what inspired me to actually start making videos. I had a pain that I solved for myself. And because I realized that other people had the same pain, I made videos to solve the pain for them by, learning from my own mistakes. Do you know what I mean? Bang. Story concluded. When would you say is the best time for cardio? There isn't a best time. The only time I say to not do it is not do it before you work out, because that messes up your gains. I've heard it. Oh, we've got another question about cardio. I've heard if you want to gain muscle, you shouldn't do cardio. Is that true? The only reason that's necessarily the case is because obviously, if you're like a hard gainer who struggles to build muscle mass, usually it's like a hard gainer, someone who undereats. It's like if they do more cardio, like obviously their calorie expenditure goes up, and so there could be people who can like have a hard time gaining weight, and because they have a hard time gaining weight, if they're then doing more cardio and burning more calories, then it's like they're now burning even more calories relative to how many they're consuming. So they've now got to eat more and more calories to compensate to help them gain weight. Do you know what I mean? Whereas obviously if you cut the cardio back, those types of people won't have to actually consume so much to gain weight. Or as I said, if they cut the cardio down, it's easier to gain weight because they're not burning so many calories. That's the main reason. It's like for me, when I started my fitness journey while playing football, soccer for my Americans, even though it really should be called football, right? No debate. It's called football, right? Like I was burning like 4,000 calories a day, and so because of it, it's like if you think like how many calories I had to eat to like maintain my freaking body, like you have to eat a lot of calories, even more to gain weight. Whereas obviously if you cut down on the cardio, then it's easier to actually eat enough to grow. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like you don't have to do cardio. Cardio is actually necessary for health, heart function, lung function, optimal health, sleep quality, stress reduction. It's just a case of like, obviously, if you want to gain muscle and you're struggling to gain weight, it's like it's easy to just cut back on the cardio because then it's easier to eat sufficient calories to grow without force feeding yourself. Jake, at what point should you move on to another progression? Like how many sets and reps should you get to before moving on? Good question. Obviously, I'm assuming you're referring to bodyweight training, that is. So it's all about what your goal is, whether it's strength or hypertrophy or endurance. Obviously, you then got a rep range. And obviously, with that rep range, you work within that rep range and you focus on building the rep range up. And then once, you get to the top range of the rep range, that's where you increase the intensity. So, for example, let's take a good example. Let's say, let's give a good example of what I give to clients, right? If I have a beginner starting out with push-ups, I'd have them do incline push-ups. And let's say we're doing 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps, 90 seconds rest, right? Actually 2 minutes rest, doesn't matter. So if they, let's say, start with an elevation like a bench, they start with 3 sets of 10. Next we're going to do 3 sets of 11, 3 sets of 12. It gets 3 sets of 15, bang, right? Now we increase the intensity by lowering the incline. So they may use something like the bottom of a stair. And then they do 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 11, 3 sets of 12, and then bang, to the floor. And that's where, as I said, sometimes when the intensity increases more, that's where we may need to manipulate the rep range. Like instead of doing 10 to 15 reps, we may do 8 to 10, 8 to 12, 6 to 12, all of that jazz. So it's all a case of like having understanding of the progressions. It's like for smaller progressions, it's like you have a rep range for your goal. You work to get to the top of the rep range, and then you increase the intensity, and then the reps go down because the intensity goes up, and then you repeat the process. Or as I said, for bigger jumps in progression, you may actually have to manipulate the rep range completely, which is obviously something I cover a lot with one-on-one coaching clients, as well as the progressions built in to the Train with Jake programs, home and gym based, which again, you can learn more at www.jakefitness.com. But great question, man. Hope that answered your question. Which would you recommend for bulking as efficiently as possible with a calorie surplus? Calisthenics or weights? Weights. I've answered that. You can obviously add in, even if your goal is to build muscle as efficiently as possible, there are still some body weight exercises that have its place, like the basics of pull-ups, push-ups, dips, core work. But for the most part, primarily focusing on weights is going to help with that. What's up, James? Jennifer asks, how's the ideal daily meal? I'm not sure what you mean, Jennifer. Clarify on that for me. Ferris, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Was wondering about effective calisthenics to build legs. It's really overload the legs with calisthenics. You've got to focus on one leg squats, one leg progressions. Your legs are the strongest muscle group in your body. And the way you're going to like effectively stimulate them to grow is through one leg progressions. And even when you get to the point of mastering them, then you've got to add weight. Once I got to the point where I mastered one leg squats, I got quite complacent with it, which I feel actually held back a lot of my leg progress long term. Because even like doing a pistol squat and then adding weight to it, it's not the same as just like getting a heavy barbell on your back and just doing some back squats. Do you know what I mean? So that's usually what I have with clients as well. It's like when they have the goal of the pistol squat and we achieve the pistol squat, that's where it's like, if they have any advanced calisthenics goals for the upper body, we still continue working on that. But for the lower body, we start actually introducing more weighted work back, because it's like your body weight, there's only so much you can get with your body weight long term. So it's great. Body weight training is freaking amazing when you haven't mastered it. But once you've actually mastered your own body weight, that's where you've got to start actually, what's the right word? Introducing external load into your routine, right? What exercises are good for middle-aged individuals? Honestly, it's like it's like there's no real difference in age. You know what I mean? It's like I've got like there's a couple clients I can think of coming towards their 50s, and they're stronger than most of my friends in the 20s. You know what I mean? It's more so I've made a video. I remember I've made a video that's actually quite popular now of like how to start calisthenics over 40. Because again, there's like the exercises don't change, because the most effective exercises for building strength, building muscle, losing fat, all the same, regardless of your age, right? It's more so just the approach, right? Like if you're someone who is in their 30s or over mid 30s, the only main things you kind of got to like consider is obviously obviously your metabolism's a little bit slower compared to when you're in your 20s, which is all fine. But also as well, naturally your recovery, you need to give more time to recover, because your ability to recover is naturally going to be a bit slower. Same with the joints as well. You've got to take more diligent care into your joints. So there's really not too much difference. It's just a case of being a bit more diligent. If I want to be more cautious, like sometimes if I've coached clients at like 50 to 60, and that's where you like, would take some things into consideration of like, right, starting with lower volume and higher reps, like strength endurance, like 10 to 15 reps, to again, help get their work capacity up, get some blood flow to the joints to help strengthen the tendons and ligaments first, and then start introducing a bit more hypertrophy, a bit more strength work. But there's really no difference in that sense. If anything, I feel the reason why sometimes I've had some middle-aged clients like absolutely transform their bodies like freaking crazy, because like when you're more experienced in life, right, you're better educated, right, mentally. And obviously if you've got a better mindset towards your health and fitness, then obviously that's how you're going to see results both in the short term and the long term. So the best exercises always stay the best exercises for whatever age range. It's more so a case of just, being mindful of the approach of like taking some things into consideration, whatever your age is. But again, it's like, don't use age as like something to hold you back. Because as I said, I've seen many people, both clients and just like, seeing transformations on Instagram. I know many people who are like, I know people like twice my age who are like twice as strong as me, 3 times, 5 times strong. You know what I mean? So, to be honest, the way you explain things makes you a perfect coach. I appreciate that, Anton. Jake, if you screw up on your diet for the day, eat like donuts, cookies, should you eat your next meal or skip it because of calories? See, this is the problem with diet. This is the problem with the diet mentality, right? If you're an OG on this channel, if you're an OG on the Gain Share Express, you'll know we don't like the word diet, right? It's like, look at the first 3 letters of the word diet. I was going to say the first 3 words, but it's like diet is one word. First 3 letters of the word diet. Die. It's not nice, right? It's like diets are restrictive. You can't really enjoy life on a diet, can you? It's like, I know it's different because of lockdown, but it's like, let's say the weekend you get invited to amazing restaurant with your friends or family. Sorry, I'm on a diet. Can't do that. It's like, what? What? I was going to swear, but YouTube censored, right? What? That's not fun. That's not fun. So isn't that what health and fitness is supposed to do to your life, right? It's supposed to make your life more enjoyable and add quality to your life rather than take away from it. Do you know what I mean? So screwing up on your diet, like, I wouldn't more so say it's screwing up. It's like whatever your approach is currently doesn't actually allow you the flexibility and freedom to actually get the results you want to get whilst enjoying life. Because one thing I've spoken in YouTube videos before, and obviously one thing I emphasize coaching clients, is kind of like the flexible dieting approach, where you can kind of eat like whatever you want to eat in the day, as long as you hit your calories and macro goals for the day. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, it's like, that's where, like, if you heard of the flexible dieting approach, like the if it fits your macros approach, you've probably heard of like the 80-20 principle, where you have like 80% of your total calorie intake coming from good quality nutritious whole foods. The other 20% come from what you want, of things like donuts and cookies, because if you hit your calories and macros for the day, you're all good. You personally, the reason why you may not see me eating so much like unhealthier foods as often is because for me, like I said, with my experience of acne and such, if I have like unhealthier foods more frequently, it actually then causes flare-outs. So that's why I naturally stick to a more holistic approach. And I actually prefer the holistic approach because of, just feels better for daily energy and such. But as I said, like, I have clients who absolutely love the flexible dieting approach and use it every single day. And I think it's something, especially for fat loss, I highly encourage because what good is there in trying to lose weight if it's boring as heck? It's going to swear again there. But yeah, like I said, if you screw up in your diet, done is better than perfect, man. Put it in the past. The past has happened. The future is uncertain. All we have is the present moment, right? So I'd maybe look at why you binged. Likely you may have binged because, the way you're approaching your nutrition and health is based on some kind of restriction, which is not necessarily your fault. It's more so a case of just being educated on how you can actually eat those foods while still getting results, which is what I've covered for you, Scott. So I hope that all makes sense. If you've got any more questions on that, Scott, and anyone else, let me know in the comments. Or, like, I know Scott, who is an OG on Instagram, hit me up on the Instagram, the IG at JakeGayFitness, and shoot me a DM. Ask me any questions and say, I came from your YouTube live. I'd love that. Let's see how many more oh my days. Guys, let me catch up. So let me answer the whole thing of, obviously, hang on, I'm just looking at the other. Nah, no one got it. So my 2 jobs. First one, when I was a teenager, I was a lifeguard part-time. And then second one, Tesco's, I was a deli butcher. And when I was actually a deli butcher, I started during my gap year at school, or after my A-levels, because I knew that after my A-levels, I was going to start my own business, which is obviously what I did on the side. And once, at the time, my business was making enough money to go full-time, bang, I said, see you later, Tesco. I'm going all in on my passion, my dream. Do you know what I'm saying? And before anyone asks, as a lifeguard, I saved 1 life as a lifeguard. I even say, I wouldn't count it. I saved 1 life, like getting them out the pool, right? There was one where someone was drowning. The other lifeguard blew their whistle to get in the water. I smashed the emergency, right? So it's basically a massive alarm that goes off in the whole leisure centre to tell everyone to get the heck out of the pool, right? Because we've got an emergency. So that helped, right? So saved 1 life, I've assisted in another. So I'm not just transforming lives right now. I've saved lives, right? I'm quite an asset to this world, aren't I? Anyway, time to suppress the ego. Let's answer some more questions. How many exercise do you guys in the workout? How many exercise you guys do in workout? And how long is your workout? How many exercise you guys do? How many I think there's a slight typo in the question. How many exercises do you do in your workout? How long is your workout? Right now, I'm currently on a 5-day split, which I'm feeling freaking pumped about. Obviously, my medications for acid reflux have kicked in now to the point where my symptoms are much more in control, and I can actually train now, train intensely without any issues. Touch wood. All right. Right now, I said I'm on a 5-day split. Each workout, on average, I think there's about 8 exercises, and each workout's about an hour. But yeah, I don't like to train for planche, but instead I want to do bench press. But I'm interested in planche, like it's necessary. So what? What should I do? Bench press or planche? You say you don't want to do planche, but you think it's necessary. There's nothing necessary about a planche, right? Planche is a choice. You either want to do it if you don't or you don't. So I'd just say keep it simple with the bench press, man. Would you ever do the Murph workout? I'm not sure what that is. Let me know what that is, James. I'm not sure what that is. I'm good, Jake. How you doing, man? Shout out to all the Jakes. I love it when I interact with Jakes. There's not many Jakes about, but Jake is such a cool name. I found ironically, like anyone called Jake, they've always got like a special talent. Man, I'm being so cocky right now, aren't I? Next questions. Hello, Jake. What do you think of my pull-ups? I could do 20 at 97 kilos and 10 with 10 kilos. Awesome, man. Happy for you. Sup, Milan? What's good, man? Oh, low battery. Low battery. Give me a sec. Don't want to be dying on you guys. Oh, snap. Just almost broke my freaking desk. Anyway. Sup, Milan? Good to see you again, Ferris. Damn, I am behind. Literally, I asked Ferris like 30 minutes ago how he was, and I've only just seen the message. Anyway, can high reps be bad for joints, etc., or are they all right to do consistently for building muscle? I don't know what you mean by high reps. Like high reps, you say high reps and building muscle. Like high reps and building muscle isn't necessarily the same, because muscle growth usually occurs in that moderate rep range, like the 8 to 12 rep range. Anything above like 15 is going to build endurance. So higher reps are actually they can be good for the joints in the sense of obviously encouraging blood flow to the muscles and the joints, because obviously your joints don't actually have their own blood supply, right? Your tendons and joints don't have their own blood supply, so like high reps can help encourage blood flow to those areas. But obviously, if you do it constantly over and over again, especially like high impact with like a lot of the HIIT workouts, then yeah, that can do you more harm than good. I think high reps have their place, but I wouldn't do them consistently and like chronically. Do you know what I mean? Pardon me, like, I'm just awkwardly just being quite silent right now. I'm just reading questions. Hi, Jake. I'm really struggling with self-doubt, and self-esteem is at an all-time low. Have you got any tips? Oh, there's many ways we can approach this, man. I'd say Showing us self-doubt, self-esteem. So, here's the thing, man. Your mind can be your greatest asset, but it can also be your greatest liability. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you got self-doubt and self-esteem, it's much easier said than done, but sometimes you've got to like kind of step out your own shoes and kind of look at what you're experiencing right now from a third person perspective. And if you look at your self-doubt and you look at your self-esteem, you'll notice, like if you look at like the causes of what's triggering it. I mean, I don't know what your situation is, man, but from my experience, what I can tell you is that when I've had self-doubt and self-esteem, when I've had self-doubt and lack of self-esteem, whenever it happens, none of it is external related. It's always internal related. Do you know what I mean? It's what's the right word? It's self-induced. Do you know what I mean? It's like self-doubt and self-esteem is something we create for ourselves subconsciously without really knowing. Do you know what I mean? That's why like a lot of us, especially during like lockdown and that and coronavirus, we can experience mental health issues because again, with all the uncertainty in that, we can create problems in our head that don't actually necessarily exist, but we think it exists. Do you know what I mean? It's like I've had some guidance for my mental health like from last year, and one of the things that really blew my mind, right, is kind of like the analogy of like how your brain kind of works, to the sense where so it's like anything, self-doubt and lack of self-esteem, you're likely overthinking, right? Because if you're not if you weren't overthinking, you wouldn't be getting self-doubt, you wouldn't be getting lack of self-esteem. But if you look at like the cause of overthinking and how overthinking works, basically what your brain does, man, is like with overthinking, is that your brain shortcuts logic, right? And then actually creates like a new false illusion that you then believe to be true. Do you know what I mean? It's like when your brain overthinks, it's like your brain's form of acting. Do you know what I mean? And because your brain's very good at acting, you believe that like the thoughts going on in your head is true. So if you're getting all the self-doubt, any negative BS going on in your head, this is the thing with self-doubt and lack of self-esteem. The reason why like self-doubt and self-esteem occurs is because like we can have these negative thoughts and this negative BS going on in our head that we actually believe, right? Because obviously if we didn't believe it was true, we wouldn't have any reason to question our self-esteem. Do you know what I mean? But this is the thing, right? We believe the thoughts are true. We believe the thoughts going on in our head are reality. But the thing is that, as I told you, the brain loves to act. And here's the thing, your brain is very good at acting. You know what I mean? So, what I said, you're looking at like the self-doubt, the lack of self-esteem. Your brain's acting, man. Your brain is playing mind games on you, right? It's not true. It's like, especially during the first lockdown, dude, everything was going for me. Everything was going for me. I couldn't think of one thing that wasn't going for me. Because of like, lockdown, the isolation, just like the craziness going on in the world, I just had all these negative BS and all this negative self-doubt that really impacted me at the time last year. And when I actually started to journal my self-doubt and like, kind of look into my lack of self-esteem, that's where, again, I wouldn't say I took my shoes off, but I kind of put myself in a third person perspective. And so that's where like I wrote down all the negative thoughts going on in my head and all the negative self-doubt and the things that was impacting my self-esteem. And I looked at it like, what the heck? It's like, this isn't actually true. Do you know what I mean? It was like everyone around me was being so supportive, right? Obviously at the time, like YouTube was blowing up, business was going very well. I was transforming, more clients' lives, people saying how it changed their lives, how much of an inspiration I've been. I'm just like, what the heck? It's like I've got all of this going on, positivity in like the external world, but for me, it's like everything was the other way around, because that's what the brain does, man. The brain is very good at acting, right? And because of that, because your brain's very good at acting and creating false illusions that you think are real, you then believe it's real, right? So once you actually then understand that your brain's very good at acting, right, you don't have to believe everything it tells you, right? I think one thing I've learned as well from other people supporting me last year is like, when you get a thought that doesn't serve you, right? Because anything in life, it either serves you to move you forward or it doesn't serve you and moves you backwards. It's kind of asking why. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, if you're getting self-doubt, ask yourself, why are you feeling self-doubt? You got a lack of self-esteem. Ask yourself, why do you feel like your self-esteem is at a low? And I feel like when you actually ask yourself why, and you journal it down and you talk to it with other people, that's when the answers kind of start to unveil itself. Do you know what I mean? I feel for me, with like my mental health last year, with lockdown and everything, the three main things that helped me was journaling, talking it out to other people, especially talking it out to specialists and actually getting support of it. And as I said, for me, like asking yourself why. I mean, when you ask yourself why, it's like it helps you get to the root cause, and like you'll realize, like at the end of it, you'll realize, like, holy smokes, man, like all of this BS going on in your head that you're sabotaging with, like, to yourself, doesn't exist. Your brain is literally creating all of it. And so when you actually like know the cause, you know how to solve it. It's like, I had someone tell me, it's like, with like mental health, whether it's anxiety or depression, it's like when you have, you know, problems with self-doubt or self-esteem, it's like, let's say you're bleeding somewhere, say your leg's bleeding, and you know, you're screaming in pain, you're like, oh my god, this is hurting, right? But it's like, when you figure out how to make it stop bleeding and it stops bleeding, you stop screaming, because you figured out the root cause to the pain and the issue and the problem. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I mean, man. It's like, use that same analogy to actually treat the root cause of what's impacting your mindset right now, rather than the symptom. If you can treat the cause, it's the same as I said, stopping your leg bleeding. And when your leg stops bleeding, you stop screaming. So it's the same case of that. When you understand what the main cause is that's impacting your mental state, you can actually live life, man. Positivity, gratitude, abundance, and freaking see yourself as a freaking awesome human being. Because we've all got it in us, right? We're all freaking awesome human beings. It's more so, as I said, actually seeing that inside ourselves, right? Actually having the confidence and ability to actually, you know our worth and know our worthiness, as I said, because we've all got it. We're all worthy of it. It's just a case of like the fact that we're all in control. Like, we can make that change right now. Do you know what I mean? So you don't need to wait to be confident. You could be confident right now. You don't need to wait to be happy. You could be happy right now, right? It's like you're always in 100% control of your thoughts, feelings, and actions, right? When you understand that, like, you've got that power right now, you can actually flip your life around just like that, man. So, like I said, I taught you from experience, man. I can even have it to this day where I have problems with self-doubt and self-esteem. Just understand, man. You gotta understand what the root cause is by doing some internal work, getting support with it, and then once you've got that, man, it's like if it pops up again, it's just like, nope. I know you're BS. I know you're not real. So you can focus on the stuff in the real world that actually serves you, boost your self-esteem, so self-doubt doesn't become an issue. Well, self-doubt, like, it can always happen, but it's a case of like, you know, knowing why it happens, so when it does happen, you can suppress it straight away rather than let it chronically impact you. So, well, that makes sense, man. You're a legend, Matthew. How to supplement your calisthenics journey with weight exercise that will help you fight. Oh, good question, man. I've literally made a video on it. I remember we've done lives we've done lives before, particularly last year, where it was like, I think there was like 5 questions in a row, where it was like people asked different questions, and I was like, made a YouTube video on it, made a YouTube video on it, made a YouTube video on it. But looking at the question again, yeah, I made a video on it. If you type in something like JG Calisthenics or JG Fitness, using weights for calisthenics, I'm trying to think, what was the video? What was the video? I made it some time ago. I say some time ago. Like 6 months, maybe. That's it. Weight training for calisthenics, in brackets, free exercises. The way you use weights in exercises to supplement calisthenics is actually understanding how the body works. If you actually got a good understanding of human anatomy, the functions, of how the body works, like how the bicep activates, how the leg activates, all of that stuff. It's like when you then use that to then kind of break down the movement patterns and biomechanics of calisthenics and bodyweight movements, you can then be like, oh, okay, if this is the case with like the shoulder joint, then it's like, if I do this with a weighted movement, it's like, it will help that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, a good example I can give is like accessory moves. If you're in calisthenics, it's very compound based. So the big muscles get a lot of stimulation, whereas like smaller secondary muscles, like, the upper body, if you think of like the arms, the biceps, triceps, the shoulders, don't get a lot of stimulation because calisthenics is very chest and back dominant, particularly the lats, right? So that's where you can use weighted exercises to isolate those lagging body parts, like bicep curls, tricep extensions, all that jazz, right? I'd say specific movement patterns, that's where, again, you got to break down the mechanics. It's like, a good example is if you look at pulling exercises, right? Or something that's really important with calisthenics is the lower traps, the lower trapezius muscles, right? Not sure if doing that helps, right? Because I'm wearing a black shirt. But the lower traps, they're so strong, they're so important in calisthenics, but they don't really get a lot of stimulation, particularly with weight training. They get like little to no stimulation, right? So if you think of like a weighted movement, right, like a trap free raise, I'm not sure if you've seen me do it, but it's like trap. So if you have the lower traps, right, the lower traps help retract and depress the scapula, right? So if you think of something like a trap free raise with weights, a trap free raise with weights is something where, again, you set your scapula, go into scapular retraction and depression, and you pull up and work the lower traps. Now that weighted move, right, will directly carry over to your calisthenics pulling exercises, right? So that's one example. What's another example I give? I tell you another one, right? That helped me. Like I said, before I transitioned from JG Calisthenics to JG Fitness, I achieved 4-range of motion chest wall handstand push up on the wall because I couldn't be bothered to do it freestanding. That, like I said, once I achieved that, I was like, right, like that was like the maximum I could go with like vertical pushing strength with calisthenics. Other than obviously doing the freestanding handstand push up, but again, I just didn't have any interest in the freestanding handstand push up. But one thing that helped with that movement, because again, it's like if you think of like chest wall handstand push up compared to doing it with a 4-range of motion on parallettes, there's a big jump in progression, right? So what I actually did whilst I worked with Tom Merritt from the Bodyweight Warrior is actually doing a dumbbell shoulder press with the elbows tucked in. Because you think of like a handstand push up, a pike push up, it's literally the mechanics of keeping the elbows tucked in. So mimicking that with weights, right? Yeah, that same movement pattern down that actually carries over to calisthenics rather than have the opposite effect. But at the same time, the thing with it is obviously the weights is much easier to overload progressively and gradually compared to like the big jumps of bodyweight progressions, right? So that's where, as I said, the main ways you use weights to supplement calisthenics is obviously looking at where calisthenics has its weak links, right? And where it lacks, and using weights to fill it in. That's how you do it, man. I mean, doing calisthenics for 3 months, I've seen a difference in my muscles. I could see my abs somewhat when I work out, but then covered by some fat when I, what should I do? I'm 5'7", 100. But if you're 5'7", 134 pounds, I would say the problem is not so much fat. It's more so just building lean muscle mass to actually decrease your body fat percentage. So I'd actually focus on building lean muscle mass. Thoughts on one meal a day? I don't really have any thoughts on it. I think if you really want to actually live um, a healthy lifestyle and have a healthy body that operates optimally, you got to eat more than once a day. You got to eat more than twice a day. I'd say you got to eat 3 times a day minimum. I think I don't even really recommend 3 meals a day if you do intermittent fasting, but I think throughout the day your body just works best by actually having nutrients fueled throughout the day. Do you know what I mean? What's your best movies? That is such a good question that I've never prepared for. So I've got to have some time to think about that. I think my all-time favorite's got to be Ted. Like, I could watch that film so many times and just laugh every time. Other good films. Oh, man. Man. Why you gotta put me on the spot like this, man? I can't think of anyone else because that's my point. It's like I've watched a lot of really good films now. Okay. So there's Ted. I think Jumanji was brilliant. The one with The Rock, Kevin Hart, all that good stuff. One more. Can't leave you on 2. I've got to have a third. I can't think of the third. I don't know. Oh no! I want to answer it, but I can't. I don't know. I can't answer it. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think No Name. Man. It's like with lockdown and everything, it's like the best thing you can do if it's something that is continuous, it props up. It's like you need to get some support with it. Contact your GP, Healthline, therapist, counselling. That's the best way to go about it. Can you do a back lever? Never tried it. Never plan on trying it. So if I've never tried it or never planned it, probably not. How many pull-ups can you do? I don't know, man. I never really max test, and I'm not doing pull-ups as much at the moment. I've got chin-ups in my program right now, but again, as I said, yeah, chin-ups, some bit of body raise, but the other ones are mainly weighted based. Does consuming alcohol degrade your calisthenics progress? It depends. I think if you have it in moderation, you'll be all good. But if you're having it more frequently, then obviously it's like anything. Alcohol can slow down your body's optimal functioning. It can obviously slow down your metabolism. So obviously that can not just slowing down metabolism, can also reduce testosterone production, which obviously then impacts your ability to build muscle and lose fat. Then increase cortisol levels, the human stress hormone. It can also then impact your sleep quality. So I think if you have it in moderation, you're good, man. But if you had it multiple times in a week, then that's where it could impact your progress. Why aren't pull-ups in your program? Because, like I said, it's like I'm not capped to just one style of training now. It's like, yes, there are some body weight exercises in my routine. Obviously, right now, I mainly want to focus on weight training because, again, I'm more so focused on building muscle mass right now. And as I said, I mean, for doing calisthenics for like 3 years, I think long term, it's like I was getting complacent of just doing the same stuff over and over again. And so that's where obviously adding more weights into my routine. It's a new thing to kind of look forward to help with my overall progress. Of just, as I said, feeling my best and looking my best. You know what I mean? And as I said, it's like not one exercise necessarily always has to be in your program. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, pull-ups have been in my routine for so long doing calisthenics. It got to a point where, you know, I wasn't really progressing even in like weighted pull-ups, because as I said, my body was just so used to it, right? So sometimes when you do an exercise for so long and, you know, you stop progressing in it, it's a case of just, you know, trying different variations to actually, you know, break out plateaus and progress from there. That's why I believe like long-term training should never be capped to like one style of training or one style of fitness or, you know, one specific exercise, because, you know, long-term there's many ways to skin a cat, and there's actually, you know, different benefits you can get to, you know, help you create the best transformation for yourself if you have an open mindset by utilizing different tools. Do you know what I mean? So it's a case of using the best tool for the job at a given time, rather than being fixated on one tool and saying this is the best way, this is the only way. Otherwise you can hurt yourself or just not make the best progress you can make long term. Do you know what I mean? Are you ever going to try keto? Probably not. Don't really see a reason why, but that could change. We don't know. How on earth will I be able to cut the habit of eating sweets or candy after a meal? Any tips? I've covered this before. I covered this earlier in this Q&A. Like I said, I coach and teach a concept called flexible dieting, where you can eat, you know, your favorite sweets, your favorite candy, your favorite foods and meals, while still getting the best shape of your life. It's a case of obviously how many calories, macronutrients goal, and obviously being able to hit that goal with whichever food you like. I usually obviously advocate 80% of the intake come from good quality nutritious whole foods, and 20% coming from, you know, those unhealthier foods that obviously, you know, are just, you know, enjoyable to eat. Do you know what I mean? Or like I said, I have some clients where they eat clean throughout the week and then they have like a cheat meal once or twice a week, or, you know, they save like those unhealthy calories for, you know, bigger meal going out or whatever. There's many ways to skin a cat with it, but for the most part, the best way to cut out the habit of eating sweets and candy after a meal is actually knowing how you can incorporate it into your diet or your nutrition in a sustainable way that allows you to still get results, right? So you don't get the craving. Sometimes it's like the best way to handle cravings is not so much eliminating it completely out of your diet, is actually knowing how to have it in there throughout the week in a moderate and healthy way that handles those cravings so you can stay on track with your goals. I think that's everything covered. I think that's all the questions I can see here. So it's been an hour now. This has been freaking awesome. I've really enjoyed our time together here on the Game Show Express. And I think I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Very useful. Thank you. Awesome. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm just Justin says no. But if you guys have enjoyed this vlog, oh my god, it's 8 p.m. now. It's getting late. If you enjoyed this vlog, oh my days. If you enjoyed this Q&A, if you enjoyed this live, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know. I'd love to make more of these. As I said, I apologize. I believe last week I uploaded my vlog, didn't I, Monday, and I didn't upload any videos last week. To be transparent, I'm actually just getting those videos, like starting them right now. Last week I was actually hit with a medical emergency regarding my acid reflux and such. I started adding things back to the diet that gave some very weird side effects. And so, like I said, as that's now more in control, I've got results with my food intolerance test and my food allergy results. I'm now in more control now of obviously knowing, you know, I'm still not 100%. I never know the full answers of like what I can and can't eat, right? I've still got good answers of the majority of stuff I can't eat. It's just a case of like, you know, experimenting from there. And obviously getting my health in check first, get myself sorted first so I can support you guys the best way possible. But like I said, if you don't see any uploads for me from me in the next couple of days, then obviously now you'll know why. It's again, I was hit with that medical emergency last week, but rest assured, I'll be working on new content ASAP for you guys. So like I said, stay tuned for that. Look forward to that. And as if you want to see another live like this, let me know, because I'd love to do these Q&As more often if you enjoy them, right? So that's everything covered. That is everything covered. Hope you've enjoyed this live, guys. Hope you have an awesome week. Like I said, even with lockdown, COVID and that, let's not let the things we can't control get in the way of things we can control. The things we can control are, of course, our health and fitness, right? So with that said, I know you don't care about what your current 1 rep maxes. I can't really test my 1 rep maxes right now because we're in lockdown and we can't go to gyms. And so, yeah, like I said, thank you guys for joining the live, especially those who have stayed engaged. This live has been very engaging throughout. You guys are freaking awesome. And yeah, that's everything. As I said, let me know if you guys want to see the lives more often. Hopefully, with this very slow Wi-Fi I've got in the countryside, let's hope that list uploads. Like I said before, I can never get any of our lives to actually post afterwards because again the Wi-Fi is so slow. Whereas obviously here now I've got this bad boy. Hopefully that should change, right? So, like I said, let me just type something for you guys. So, as I said, if any of you want to learn more about one-on-one online coaching with me, Train Jake programs, any free guides like my free fat loss guide, free skinny fat video series, or even hit me up on social media. Like I said, my Instagram, Facebook, email contact. Like I said, if you head over to my website, www.jgfitness.com, as I've put in the comment section here, literally everything is all in one hub there. But yeah, I believe that's everything covered. Awesome. Really enjoy this time, guys. You guys are freaking awesome. Have an awesome rest of your day, wherever you are across the globe. Have an awesome week. I'll talk to you again soon. Keep moving forward. Much love, guys. Appreciate you all.